Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
Yeah, okay. Good evening and welcome you all to this live session of business data management. Today's session was supposed to be on week 7 and 8, which was of the ACE Gears project, but unfortunately, because we got intimated a bit late and there were a lot of queries on the Capstone project, so we decided that today we'll have one session on the Capstone project. Week 7 and 8 will be somehow taking in the next week, and we'll also have one more session on the Capstone project. The reason was that there were a lot of queries on this. What I'm going to do now is that going to brief you about what you're going to do, what is expected out of you in this Capstone project. And then if you have any queries, I'll be happy to take this. And this will be an interactive session. So first, let me present as to what is expected out of you in a Capstone project. There were lots of questions on the discourse. I've answered many of them, but still, I'll brief you as to what is expected out of you. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. So first question that I was getting is that how many slides are needed in a capstone project? See, we typically prefer 3 to 4 slides. This is because your capstone project Viva is supposed to be for a duration of 15 minutes. So you will be given 15 minutes time, and by 15 minutes you need to present entire thing that you have done. So maximum you can have 5 slides, all inclusive. So if you are having 4 or 5 graphs, what you can do is, you can shorten it and just put it in your PPT, one or 2 slides, something like that. And what is that we'll be asking for you in the Viva? We'll check for the authenticity of the data that you have collected. That is, I'll ask you, because typically in a presentation you cannot show all the Excel sheets or lots of raw data which you have collected. So that Excel sheet will be kept separately. So the examiners will be asking you for the Excel sheet or the way in which you have collected the data. You will have to narrate the story. How did you go about collecting the data? So there was a question also, do we need both Word document and PPT? Yes. Before the exam, we'll ask you to load a Word document, which can be a maximum of, again, 5 pages, 5 A4 pages. And we will be checking it for plagiarism. That means to say that this will be put on a software called as Turnitin, wherein we get to know if you have copied it directly from the website or if you have done it on your own. So any plagiarism percentage more than 20 will attract a penalty. Okay. Then in case if you have pictures, you get 10 additional marks. This is for your Viva OC, which I'm talking about. For the Viva, you'll be just giving us the PPT. And for this Viva as well, they'll be announcing certain dates. There will be certain slots given, and you have the flexibility in choosing those slots. So it will be for a period of 3 or 4 days. The dates anyways would be intimated to you. In
Yeah, but
addition to that,
it will be first come
Sir,
first serve basis.
yeah,
Yeah, so sooner you book the slot, the better you
yes,
have variety of chances to get
yes,
the slots. Yeah.
yes. Okay. In addition to
sir,
that,
if I could interrupt you for a moment, can
yes,
you repeat what all happened? Because we actually came just now from the Java live
okay,
session.
okay, no problem.
Sorry for
So
that. Yeah.
yeah, no problem. So you'll be having your capstone project Viva, which would be the dates would be intimated to you. You will have to check your announcements, and uh, I mean the dates should be intimated to you via mails or in your forum. So typically for a capstone project, you will be having a maximum of 5 slides. So try to fit everything within these 5 slides, all inclusive. Don't go beyond 5 slides, because it becomes difficult. The total time for presentation per person would be 15 minutes. Okay, so you should not overshoot 15 minutes. So you can just practice. Sample videos have also been kind of put. We have put short sample videos, which is around 3 to 5 minutes, which is in the supplementary section. You can have a look as to what kind of capstone project people have done. What I saw in the discourse was that many of them wanted to do reach out to the grocers and do the capstone project, but that is something which I would not recommend, because there is no point in doing the same thing if everybody does the same, right? Because last time, if you see, we have put in 9 different kind of projects, and if you see that one has collected it from a vegetable vendor, one has kind of collected it from a showroom which sells from a showroom that kind of sells white clothes. There was also from a Ayurvedic shop or etc. I guess somebody's mic is on. Mayur, I guess. Please unmute yourself. Okay. And then what will be asked in the Viva? So we'll be checking for the authenticity of the data that you have collected. That is, definitely you cannot show all your raw data in the presentation. So you will have a separate Excel sheet. You'll be maintaining it, which when the examiner asks for, you will be showing it to him. So we have said that The minimum time period for data collection is 1 month, which we have clearly kind of said. So less than 1 month is something which we would not entertain. Something more than 1 month, in cases where if the data is less than 1 month, then there has to be certain kind of analysis or something which has to justify as to, I mean, which has to kind of give us a picture. In that case, we may consider. So in that regard, you can write to me. And we also need a document which is to be submitted just before your Viva, and that dates also would be intimated to you. The document could be like 5 pages long, and in the document you will be narrating the story. You will be summarizing as to how you have gone about collecting the data. Okay. And in addition to that, we would be asking you what kind of analysis you have done. Why is that analysis you have performed? What are the charts? We may ask you to explain those charts and graphs. What do you understand from that? Why is the graph showing an upward trend or a downward trend, something like that? And finally, there will be one slide where there would be interpretations and recommendations. So what recommendations would you give to the shopkeeper? So the Viva Capstone project is for a total of 20 marks. So what we'll be doing is that we'll be conducting it for 100 marks, and then we'll bring down to 20. In addition, since you are exerting an extra effort, and a maximum of 5 marks, up to 5 marks is awarded for the data which you have collected. But that again depends upon the authenticity of the data you have collected. That means minimum you can get 1. If you have collected the data really well, you will get 5 marks. So what should be in the PPT? So those 5 slides which I mentioned, the business in brief, how the data was collected, analysis and interpretation, and recommendation. So if you see the markings which we have done, 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, and 10 marks for the picture. So pictures, if you have pictures, it is fine. If you do not have pictures, you lose those 10 marks. That is just to see that the more and more evidence that you give us, it will always be better. And the Google form, forget this date. The Google form has already been circulated, and you are expected to fill the Google form as soon as possible. Try to fill it by this month end, and please keep your projects ready by 20. Hurry, if 20th of March should be okay.
Yeah, sure. It should be okay by 20th of March. Yes.
Yeah. So please keep your projects ready by 20th of March. And a lot of you have been writing that data collection is difficult. See, if you look at the last year batch, so there were 400 students who had registered, of which 220 plus had taken the Capstone project and had done it. So that was the basic
you also
idea.
have to appreciate their effort, because that was the time when the delta was at the peak, and a lot of people were not able to collect the data. So despite the fact that coronavirus is wreaking havoc in their places, they were able to somehow collect the data, and they were able to make some very good presentations. We were thoroughly impressed by the presentations made by the previous students, and of which around 9 has been put in the in the portal, which you can also verify. Yes,
and if you look at those 9 are from different sectors. So if you are going to do it from a grocer, then we are going to ask you a lot of questions as to how we have done. Please don't replicate what we have done. That is what we would also like to say, that if you do a mere replication of what we have done, then you're going to invite more questions as well. So don't just replicate it. Try to understand what the business is all about. Because last time, if you see a presentation by Parbitraj Srivastav, he also did it from a grocer, but what he had done, he has gone above and beyond, and he has collected certain data which we kind of did not cover. So that is something which we kind of expect. So have a look at these 9 videos so that you will kind of get an understanding. And in the chat box, I do see that what kind of pictures are expected. It is just from where you have collected the data. What is the shop you're talking about? If you have some information about the shop, or when you're speaking to the shopkeeper, what kind of place it is, and something like that. Some kind of evidence, tangible evidence. So that kind of gives us more
you need not show the shop name or whatever it is. If it is confidential, that's okay.
Yeah.
But you'll have to kind of tell us that, yes, you have actually collected the data. It is not that you got the data from somewhere else or whatever.
Yeah.
Sir, I had a doubt. At times, the business owners are a bit skeptical about sharing sensitive data. So in that case, are we allowed to either hide out the business name or manipulate the data relatively?
Right, yeah, you can do that. See, we would not suggest manipulation. The simple reason is because you are going to give recommendations back to the business.
Yeah, true.
All right, so please don't manipulate the data. But what you can do is you can hide the information, any identifying information about businesses or the owner or the kind of business it is, you can actually hide those information.
In that case, how are we supposed to prove the authenticity of the data if we are hiding the business owner details or?
See, you're not going to give the name of the business owner. It doesn't mean that you cannot take a picture of this thing you're interacting with them or whatever. So you're getting my point. There is no need for any name identifying information need not be present in case the owner is apprehensive about this thing. Or it is also possible that you can get a bona fide back from the interview, the shopkeepers that you had indeed collected the data from them.
Okay, fine. Thank you, sir.
That should also.
And
can I ask 2 questions?
Yes. Yes. One thing which I would before your question, that with regard to your some of them had asked for an authorization letter, and that many of them have received. So if you have not received, please write to the support team. You have been getting it. So there are 2 undertaking which you have to give. One undertaking is that which the institute will be mentioning that this is only for an academic project purpose and as a part of a business data management course. But there is also an undertaking from your side. Once you get the data, you are not going to share it with the third party. So please keep that in mind, because that is also very, very important. Ethics in research is very, very important, so that you are not going to share this data with anybody, including your friends there. So it is only for your sake and your purpose and for your study. So that is something which I wanted to clarify. Yes.
So what mail are we supposed to write to get the undertaking?
Pardon?
The mail should be returned to the support team, right? For the undertaking.
Yeah, you can just write to fill in the Google form and then write to the support team.
Okay,
and
fine.
They will be sending you this thing. That's it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So I have 2 questions. So one question is that in this pandemic time, the way I have collected the data is through phone call, all these things, and through WhatsApp. I have not really physically gone to that place. So if I, as a picture, if I put that mail communication as a picture, is that okay?
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. That is fine. Yeah. So you can also share some of the after masking the phone numbers and other things, you can actually show the WhatsApp chats or whatever. That's also
okay, that's fine. So and the second thing is actually the kind of data I've got data for 1 year, but that data is a little bit old. So because they are skeptical to give the recent data, so I have got the data for 2019-20 financial year. So is that okay, or I have to?
Yeah, that is fine. That is fine. Okay. So, but you will have to convince the business owner that the recommendations that you are going to give to the owner back, okay, will be useful for them. If he is giving old data, he is the one who is losing out on that. You're getting my point. So that way, you'll have to convince them. But we are absolutely fine with it. Here, the idea is to make sure that you have collected the data and then you are using that for analysis.
Frankly speaking, actually, it's very difficult to that kind of data to to convince the people. So there is a practical problem basically.
We understand that. We understand that. See, one of the most important the reason why we have this Capstone project is that you will have to understand the ground level difficulties, especially in unorganized sectors such as India, where it is difficult to collect data, it is difficult to analyze. Okay, it is not always you sit in the front of computer and get all the data and you try to do analysis. Okay, so that's not how the business is carried out in India, isn't it? So how do you collect primary data and how you use the primary data, and then how do you convince people that whatever you have collected is useful for them, and the recommendations that you give, how you see how useful it is, and all those things becomes an important factor. We did not want you to collect data from big companies because there are already existing case studies, there are already existing solutions for all those big companies. So it is that we wanted you to get your hands dirty when it comes to the small companies and collect data and see and help them if it is possible. That will be a great learning experience for you, and that will be a great support for the businesses as well. So that's the purpose with which the Capstone project is started. All right. There are somebody who have asked some questions that we'll slowly look into. I have an old data with me. I suppose to work around 2 years back financial data. Can I use that? You can use that, but you'll have to tell us the authenticity. You'll have to show us the authenticity that you had collected the data. That's asked by, I think, Saherwala. Okay,
Yeah, hi, sir.
yes.
Rosina here. So, sir, actually, that was
Uh,
the project given by my company. So
okay,
we used to given the data basically.
okay.
So that
So,
was the data I have
okay,
with
if it
me.
is
So if
your old company, okay, we would
Mhm.
prefer you actually go and do a primary data collection, Rosina. Okay, that way it will be great learning experience for you. Okay, so instead
Okay,
of using
because
this data, you can try to collect the primary data. Just in case you cannot get any data, then this can be accepted, but we would still suggest you to go and get primary data from people, from the company, small vendors and businesses. Okay, so if in
okay,
case you are interested about that 5 marks which we were talking about, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah,
And sir, if it is in different city, that is fine. If I have my relative shop, I can collect the data. Is
great.
it fine?
That is absolutely fine. That's not a problem. That is not at all a problem.
Okay, okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So the next question, I think Ashwin had answered some question. Yeah,
Sir, can I ask something?
yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, I actually got the data, like handwritten data, like bills. So I entered it manually. So the data is already organized when I entered it, like manually. So that is fine, right? When I
Yeah,
show it.
absolutely fine.
Absolutely fine.
Now you understand. I mean, sorry, who asked this question? Parth.
Parth, yeah.
Yeah, Parth. Now you understand, Parth, how difficult it is to collect data from unorganized sector, getting into the bill, writing down whatever is in the bill and all
Yeah,
those
in
things,
fact,
and
to
doing
add on to Hari,
analysis.
last time Deeksha had collected the data
Mm.
from a vegetable vendor and she did it for a 30-day time period. So
Mm.
I guess it is Deeksha Chutan. You can just check the video in the supplementary section by Deeksha. So
Yeah, I
how
saw.
she went about collecting the data. So you'll get certain idea.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay, so that's fine. That's absolutely fine, Parth.
Sir, one question.
Yeah.
Actually, the last time, sir, I talked with you, Hari
Mm.
sir.
Mm.
You
Mm.
told me the
Mm.
way how could I approach to the company. I did
Yes.
that, and thanks to you,
Mm.
now they are accepting me in a lot better way than
Oh,
earlier.
great. Very good,
And
Samant. Very good.
the thing that's happened,
Mm.
initially I collected for 1 year. Since it is a manufacturing sector,
Okay.
I collected the data and I try to plot that to see what happens inside the data. And I
Mm.
find it is very difficult to this thing to observe some trend or pattern with the 1 year data. So I
Mm.
went back and then collect another 2 years. So my data
Okay.
is from 1920, 2021, and
Mm.
21-22 till
Now.
say April, up to last 1 month back. So
Okay.
if I put this 3 years data, will it be create any problem? Because
No, Samit. So, in fact, your analysis would be very comprehensive in that sense. Okay, that's
yeah,
not a problem at all. Okay.
in that
Mm.
in that case, what happened actually,
Mm.
although they are very means unorganized sector,
Mm.
something they maintain in computer, something is manual.
Mm.
So all the invoice I collected from one sheet, Excel sheet. Then I have
Okay.
to join all those things and write a small program thanks to this system command course, so
Mm.
that I am able to convert that from CSV to in a single Excel file. All these things I have done. And
Okay.
now what I want initially from raw data collection to till the point that I make ready, I will
Mm.
make ready for my analysis. This part I took a lot of effort and I want to put it in the slides. Now you said only 5 slides are available for presentation. It is very difficult for me because initial messaging means create taking the raw data and put it into a plate from where I can start analysis. This may take 3-4 slides because of the kind of work I have done
Yeah.
until up to this.
Samit. Yeah, I
Yeah.
got your question, Samit. Thanks. See, Samit, there is a reason why we give 5 minutes only for presentation. Okay, I'll get back to you on that. First thing I wanted to assure you is that the people who are going to evaluate you will understand the kind of effort that you put. Okay, it is easy for them to understand. Okay, this guy has actually put a lot of effort in collecting data and analyzing that and then coming up with certain recommendations. So don't worry about that. Please be assured that nobody is going to rate you low. Okay, when you are going to only present for 5 slides. Okay. However, your efforts will never go rewarded. Sorry, unrewarded. All right. So don't worry about that. The second thing why we had given only 5 minutes is very simple. If you go and do a business pitch to any company, do you think they will give you 30 minutes or 40 minutes of time? I mean, this is for everybody. Okay. Not only for Summit. Okay. Most of the time you are given only 5 minutes to 10 minutes. And in that 5 minutes to 10 minutes, you will have to say what is most important. Okay. That essentially is what is expected from the people who are going to present. So we wanted to kind of give you a rehearsal about as to what the way in which the actual businesses are being conducted, the way in which your interactions in the businesses will be. Okay, so the entire Capstone project is a simulation for all these things. So don't worry about that. In that 5 minutes, succinctly, how much ever you can give, that is what is expected out of you somehow. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sir, may I take the chance now to speak?
Yes, please. Yes, yes. Who is that? Can you please tell me your name? Priyanka.
Yes, yes, I'm Priyanka. Yes, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, actually, I was trying to collect data from a lot of local vendors. So most of the people are either worried, why we are collecting, even if we tell it's for this thing. But or the other issue is that people just do not themselves, they are not keeping any records. So they do not understand how to share that, data with me. So unless and so at last, I decided that I have to do it myself only. So I'll be going daily and picking the data. But what I want to say is that ultimately, what has happened that this, small departmental store has agreed to share data. But of course, they have items in thousands. So I have picked a few items. But what I just want to say is, sir, I am slightly worried that I may not get a very good analysis from that because, I wanted, where I can easily count, I can easily check. So they're all, the variety is very large. And I don't know whether I'll be able to make some good analysis after, collecting data for a month and, putting in so much energy. So, sir, can you guide regarding this?
Priyanka, what is your research question or what is that problem you wanted to solve for the vendor? That is first thing that you'll have to be very, very clear about. All right. So if it's a small vendor, you'll have to figure out what is that. If it's a big departmental store, something like which you are saying, what is that you wanted to say? First, did you find that out, Priyanka?
Okay, sir, actually, I was getting guided only by whatever we have done in week 5 and 6. Which is, so I was thinking of doing similar type of analysis.
Yeah, see, again, so it all depends on the business problem. So that's what last time when we had a small discussion about Capstone project, we were telling you, isn't it? I'm not sure if you had watched that video, if you are present in that discussion, live discussion. What we essentially said is, any data that you're going to collect should relate to a business problem. Okay, so if it is not going to solve a business problem, what is the point in collecting the data? You tell me. Correct? No? So
yes,
essentially,
yes,
you have to figure out what is the problem you are going to solve. Now, see, to solve that problem, whatever data that you have, is that sufficient? That's the second thing to do. If it is sufficient, well and good. If it is not sufficient, what other data do I need to do my analysis? That is what you'll have to do. Then you'll have to see, do I have the data? Whatever is needed, can I collect the data? Is it possible for me to collect the data, or is the data readily available? And all those things. That is what you'll have to see. Just in case, if no data is available, you cannot even collect the data straight away, then you'll have to make assumptions. Or if you can collect data, that would be great, well and good. That's how you'll have to see. Okay, it all depends on the business problem. If the business problem is clear, your data collection will be clear, data analysis will be clear, and your recommendations will also be very clear. Okay, so spend a lot of time in correctly identifying the right business problem. All right.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sir.
Yes. Sorry, who is that?
Sabit.
Sorry. Sabit. Yeah, Sabit.
Yeah.
Sabit. Go ahead, Sabit.
Sir, actually, I am collecting data for tribal products.
Oh, very good. Very good. Very good.
And,
Yes.
and that is distributed through Government of India, Tribal
Okay.
Affair of Ministry.
Okay.
And their model is they have central hub in Delhi and different stores. And store sales offline. And they have an e-commerce sites also for Delhi, and for every states they have an individual online store over there.
Okay.
So the main problem is I am collecting data for Delhi region only.
Yes, fine. That is fine. That is fine. Yeah.
And but everyone can order the basic business concept what I have understood through the medium.
Yes.
If you order a tribal product which belongs to Jharkhand,
okay,
and you are placing the order from Delhi itself, still the Jharkhand hub is dispatching the material from Jharkhand to Delhi.
Okay.
Eventually, some of the products also available in Delhi hub, but their most preference is from Jharkhand. That tribal, every tribal has an unique product, and that product is only available in that region state only.
Okay, fine.
So for me, I am firstly I try to online sales and offline sales. I start with online sales and offline sales, whether the store are making good or the online sales of Delhi is making good.
Okay.
Then I come to the conclusion, if the product is from different region, if an woolen product is over there from a tribal or some handicraft material is there.
Okay.
So the Yafi painting is over there. That is some specific painting. So the painting is ordered. That is most likely in that state region. That data is not available with me, and that is not showing over here. But
Sabit,
yeah.
The same thing what I said to Priyanka is what I'm asking you. What is your business problem?
I just want to analyze whether the online store is making profit and which is the product making best revenue for them, so that they can keep in store always available.
Okay. What are the data that is required for doing this analysis of it?
I get the sale data of different stores on every day. And what is their volume according to the different stores.
Okay.
And what exactly their profit they are gaining.
Okay. No. The profit is something, it's a derivative. It's not a direct measure. You cannot get the profit directly.
Correct.
So you will have to find out revenue. First thing is revenue.
First thing is revenue. But on the same hand, sir, whatever I conclude, some products are high revenue.
Okay.
But they buy it likewise whenever they had a fair over there, trade fair.
Okay.
So all the states tribals are coming over to Delhi.
Okay.
During these 15 days, whatever sale goes directly to the customer, it's fine. Whatever left, they do not take it with them to their states. They just sold it with their minimum cost to the Government of India.
Okay.
And Government of India distribute it over the stores.
Okay.
Still the first product, which is making a revenue of 1 crore. But on the same hand, that product volume is also high volume, it's stuck in their inventory also.
Okay.
So whether I will consider it as a revenue or the huge amount is stuck over there.
Yeah.
See, and whatever I understood, they are not buying anything or ordering something. These are their necessity. They cannot, some artist is coming from different states. We cannot say like that, you have to keep it with you. We are always take whatever they have, we always take. So our revenue always the inventory always goes up.
Okay. That is fine. Now, what is going to be your suggestion for them?
That's I really actually need.
Yeah, you figured that out. It's a very interesting problem, Sabit. You are saying that once the tribal fair is over, there is a lot of inventory piled up, and the tribal arts store is actually paying for that at a minimal cost. However, they are holding the inventory.
Correct,
Okay,
sir.
so by holding the inventory, they are losing out on the interest money. First thing. The second thing is there is always an inventory holding cost and all those things. Right?
Correct, sir.
Now you will have to essentially identify. That's a very good problem to work on, Sabit. So, okay, now you'll have to identify the ways and means in which the inventory can be reduced. Okay, that's quite an interesting one. You see if you can actually give the products on discount on online stores for online people.
That I have suggested, but the problem I am facing right now, during this 1 month, there are totally 1 lakh different type of items. But during this 1 month, I have only 2,500 or 25,000 items which are belonging to 1 month's category.
That is fine, Sabit, because you're not doing a complete research. Okay,
right,
now you are scoping your work only to some category of products. Okay, just focus on that and just give a solution that will work for that particular category of product. That is absolutely fine, Sabit. See, you cannot solve the problem.
No, I can't, sir. This is a huge inventory problem over there, and they know it. And one thing I just want to confirm whether I will club it or not, because like suppose you have a shirt, that shirt comes under 3 different colors.
Okay.
So they have different items, but item code and the price remains the same. They may have the red color, which is comes under the top 20 revenue, but the same item which is in blue color does not comes under top 20. Can I club it?
It is better not to club it, because if you club it, then it will not be a good analysis there.
Correct, sir. The same design, same everything is minor change in, because sometimes this color is not available, or sometimes the color is available. That's a huge matrix over there. Whatever I understand.
Yeah. But Sabit, one warning that I wanted to give you is,
yes, sir,
don't get into a place where you become paralyzed by analysis. Okay, you cannot do everything within the
exactly.
span of a few weeks.
Actually, I already get into that, and I am really confused. What should be my conclusion?
Go back to the same question. What is the business problem you want to solve? Do you have data to solve the business problem? Okay, if you have the data, stop there. Don't go and don't confuse yourself much. All right?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Hello.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yes. Who is this, please? Who is this? Good evening.
Yogendra Singh, sir.
Hi, Yogendra. Good evening. Yogendra, your voice is breaking. I'm sorry. I couldn't. Yeah.
Am I audible, sir?
Now you are audible. Yes. Yogendra? Yes.
Which is very unorganized.
Okay.
And sir, I have one problem.
Yogendra, your voice is breaking. Your voice is breaking. Maybe we can. You can put your question in the chat box.
Please put your question in the chat box. We will answer that question, Yogendra.
Hello.
Yes.
We are answering. Yeah.
Hello,
if there are any questions, please put it in the chat box as well. I am answering them.
Hello,
okay?
Ashwin sir.
Yes.
Yeah. Please.
Akruti speaking here.
Yes,
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah. I have a doubt that everyone, mostly people are taking data from local vendors or so. My objective is I am thinking of making a trend for education system. My mother is a tuition teacher and she takes tuitions from a very long time. So I wanted to show the trend before the COVID and after the COVID. What is the trend of the students to come to the tuitions or not? So is it my objective correct? Or I'm going into right now?
It's a very good work, but you will have to be sure about one thing. Because this course is about business data management. Personally, I really like that project. I understand that because there are a lot of people who cannot afford tuition, unfortunately, now after the COVID fiasco. right?
Yes.
So I really understand and appreciate that you have taken a very good problem, but you'll have to please understand that the objective of this course is to understand the business data.
Okay.
Okay. If you can bring out certain business implications from the data that you are collecting, that project is great. You're getting my point?
Yeah, so means I can show the trends of the profits, or whether
Yes.
what profit was before COVID and after COVID.
I mean, where is the profit here? I mean, whatever your mother or whoever the tuition teacher is, everything that teacher, the amount of time she spends, that's the revenue, isn't it? And all the revenue is profit. There is no other. Basically, it's like you cannot count electricity, which is not. It's going to be very,
Yeah,
very
but as
minimal.
compared to before COVID, the
Yeah, you
students
wanted
came
to
less.
compare the revenues of the tuition teacher before the COVID and after the COVID, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that. One, that's a good thing. It will be also good if you can collect revenue. I mean, the revenues of tuition teachers, not only from your mother, but from 5 to 6 people, different people. You're getting my point. That way, it will give a good trend.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's all right. You can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hello.
Yes. Is it Gopesh Krishna?
Yeah, it's Gopesh.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, actually, I have doubt. Actually, my friend, he's running a cafe, so he has agreed to share raw bill data.
Okay.
So will that be okay?
If that raw bill data is going to solve the business problem, fine. Straight first question, I will always tell you to everybody, what is the business problem? And to solve the business problem, what data do I need? If you ask that question, and if that question can be answered with the data you have in your hand, you are free to go. You're getting my point? Simple.
Yeah. That, I understand. Yeah. This business is so low, actually. It's very dull right now. So,
that is fine. That is absolutely fine. Any kind of business, business making profit, business making loss, business which is about to be shut down, whatever, doesn't matter. Okay, so it will be great if you can help a business recover from going into bankruptcy, okay, back again into this thing. So if your recommendation is going to really help them, that is fantastic, isn't it? So if you are going to take such a challenge, it is great. It's absolutely fine to do that.
Okay. So my objective will be like, I would like to find some food items that can be given as a combo offer, and food items that will be slow moving.
Yes. Yeah. That is all fine. Super, fantastic. You can do all those things. And it will be great, Gopesh, if you can see after you give the recommendations to the people. What I would suggest, Gopesh, is collect some 1 month data. Okay. And see the trends. When are the people coming? Okay. So what is that they prefer to eat? When they eat, say, for example, chicken biryani. Okay. So what is the combination thing that they have along with chicken biryani? If you are able to collect such data, for example, okay, and propose a combo offer or something like that, and do advertise over. See if the footfall increases. 1. See if the revenue increases. 2. Okay. See if the people order more dishes or whatever it is. You're getting my point. So
yes.
You can implement the recommendations because it's your friend's restaurant. It is easy to implement also. You can also implement and see what is happening. That would be a great exercise for you and learning exercise for everybody as well. If you can do that, that'd be great. All right.
Okay. One more problem, actually.
Yes.
Actually, he's always complaining about 2 days, Thursdays and Fridays. His business is very, very low compared to all other days.
Okay.
So how will I find out the reason for that?
Great. So Ashwin, I would want you to explain that Nandini Sweets example, Ashwin, again to this Gopesh. That'd be great.
So what happened was that so there is a sweet outlet just outside one of the gates of IIT Madras. So it is Nandini Sweets.
Yeah, actually, sir. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, you remember
I
it,
have
right?
Heard that, actually. I have heard that.
So that could be one of the reason. It is a spurious correlation. You get the point, right? And one more point I would like to add is that these days, these quick service restaurants or this mini restaurants, what they have is something called as an app called Paid Puja. You can just go and just check that app. where typically when a customer enters a particular restaurant, they have the data. Okay, what time did the customer enter in? What did he order? How much time did it take? How much time did he spend there? What has he ordered? And then, entire thing gets captured. So they kind of get to know what dishes are very popular, what dishes are not. So accordingly they can also decide on what items, raw materials to keep. So this was some insight which I got from a student last time. So this is something which he did, because there were some 4 or 5 items in the menu which was actually not moving, and they tried it for a period of 1 month. They did not move, and they had to kind of drop it from their items itself, so from the menu itself. So such kind of insights are also pretty interesting. So
great. Yeah, that is something which is interesting, Gopesh. Another thing that I wanted you to explore is see what kind of a locality that restaurant is present. Okay, and see the eating habits of the people, if that is possible. All these things will really help you arrive at what could be the reason. Or if it is possible, you can also talk to some of the people, the customers who come to the restaurant, and ask them as to why do you prefer to come on Thursdays and Fridays? If not, why do you, and all those things. If you get that kind of a detail, then it'd be great. You're getting my point.
Yeah. Actually, is that a requirement? I should find out the reason.
No. It's not a requirement as such if it's not your business problem. But this for your personal interest. If you really want to help your friend recover, you can actually do that. We will only look at what your business problem is and have you enough data to address the business problem. That is what will be looked into. All right. I'm just giving you example. I wanted to also take this platform as a source where I can also discuss with you guys to explore the nitty-gritties of collecting the data, managing the data, analyzing the data, and giving out recommendations. Tomorrow, who knows, you guys all will be joining as consultants in McKinsey's and Boston Consulting Groups and big companies where you might be consulting businesses. Maybe these small things and all, right? It might help you. Who knows? So the entire idea is to share knowledge, whatever we have, and you guys also can chip in and tell us what the problem is and how do we go about all this. Yeah. Okay. The next person. There are some 5-6 raised hands.
Thank you, Hariharan.
Yeah, sure. The next person. If you guys are done with asking question, please raise down your hands. I mean, please raise down so that we will know as to how many people are there.
I have a request about the course. Can I do that here?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Actually, I would like to get a solution, detailed solution to quiz 1.
Sorry, what?
A detailed solution to quiz 1 and the practice assignments also.
Assignment questions, solutions, I'm not sure. I'm afraid if that can be shared. Okay, so but for quiz 1, we will try to get the solutions. We'll have to ask anyways. I'm not promising you anything, Gopesh. We will discuss with the course faculty and we'll get back to you on that. All right.
Also, so in future, as in other courses, try to include that practice question after every week.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we are looking into that. We are actually looking into that. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Great.
Sir, I just want to confirm one thing.
Sorry, who is this?
Sabit here. One second.
Sabit. Yes, Sabit.
Sir, for calculating how many days that inventory goes up to, sir, on a particular day, the opening balance is the stock. Like in this assignment, you have given Delhi, Chandigarh, Gurgaon.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
for Delhi, 1st April, whatever material is there, that is my opening stock.
Yes.
I am not going to consider what is material is coming from Gurgaon to me as to Delhi on 1st April as my opening stock or the available stock. And during these 15 days, whatever sale is there, I have to get the average sale.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. When and at this moment, I am not rounding off the average sale. Whatever stock is present divided by average, whatever number is coming, I am rounding that. or I will round up the average and also the number of days, because both have different answer.
See, Sabit, one thing, rounding off to 2 digits or 3 digits or whatever it is. Okay, so it's not going to make much of a difference. All right.
Like, sir, for example, I have a stock of, for example, I have 14 stocks.
Okay.
And my average is coming 6.8.
Okay.
Okay. When I divide 14 by 6.8, which is coming 2 point something.
Okay.
And when I round it off, means that means more than 2 days. So it will be 3 days.
See, I would say use the round function, simple. Okay, if it is less than 2.5, it will go to 2. If it is more than 2.5, it goes to 3. That is it, simple. Why do you complicate that?
Oh, because in the lecture it is considered that if the material is for 2 point something, that means it will complete 2 days, and some materials is left for third day also. So up to third day we have inventory, and now you are suggesting if it is more than 2.5 days, then we will round to 3 days.
See, that is what again, Sabit, it is on case-to-case basis. Okay, so business, when you are talking about business, it is not always straightforward. You will not get a right or wrong answer in any business for that matter. All right. So if there is some businesses, even if there is a 0.1 or 0.2.
Sir, actually, I just want to confirm whether I will round up the average or I will round up the number of days, because if I will round up, in this case 6.8 becomes 7, so 14 divided by 7, it will straight goes to 2 days.
That's why you say it is logical only to round off the days, because in this case it is, if you round off the average, it's coming to 6.8. What if the average is 7? You're getting my point. Then automatically it becomes 2. What if your average becomes if the total is like 14.5 and average is 7.25? If you round off, it is not really going to help. You're getting my point. It's always better to round off the days, number of days, inventory turnover days. That's what you'll have to do.
So in this case, if it is more than 2.5, then the answer will be 3. If it is less than 2.5, then whenever just in Excel, if I use the round, then less than 2.5 will consider as 2.
2, yeah. So that is also, that's what I'm telling Sabit. That depends on business to business. In some businesses, rounding off to the nearest whole number is fine. Okay, there are some businesses rounding off to the next highest whole number will work. You will have to take a judgment. We are okay with it. We are absolutely fine with whatever method that you are going to use, but justify it. Why you rounded up or why you rounded down.
And one more thing I just want to confirm. After rounding off, it is coming 3, for example.
Okay.
And in my option, 3 is not there.
You're talking about the assignments now, is it?
Not exactly assignments, sir.
Okay.
For example, in my answer, 3 is not there.
What answer? I'm not getting you. What,
sir, after rounding off, because it will, as per it is 2.8 days or 2.75, I will round off to 3 days.
Okay, fine.
Which is not exactly correct, because I have only 2 days inventory, which is the correct one, and some inventory is left with me, which I can consider for third day.
Yes. Okay.
And for assignment, for example, for the assignment, if 3 is not given there, can I? And I have 7, 8, 9, whatever, which is more than 2. Can I choose anyone? Because it is more than 2 days. And 3 is not exactly available in the option.
I don't know if that such an assignment question will be asked where the difference is so big, like 4, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if you're talking about assignments, I'm not sure about that. I cannot answer that. I'm not competent enough to answer that.
Can I take over on this?
Yes, please.
So I believe in the assignment, there won't be any such question which will cause such an ambiguity.
Yes.
But given the current question that you are asking, it will be advisable that you go for the biggest, like the absolute whole number that you're getting. Now,
nearest absolute?
Yeah, so no,
Yes.
what I mean to say is that the entire day's sales will be covered, right? Now, this might go in contrary to what Sir just said, that if it's 2.5 or 2.6, you round it off to 3. But at the end of the third day, your inventory will go in minus, right?
Exactly. I am
So
asking the same.
as an answer, select 2.
The inventory I have for cover the full days, that should be my answer, not
Exactly.
3.
Yes.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. Sabit, I think rest are waiting, so we'll have to give them an opportunity.
Sure. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Sir, actually, I have one doubt, sir.
Yeah.
So, sir, can I go ahead?
Yes, please. Mangleshwara Siddha, correct?
Yeah.
Mangleshwara Siddha. Yeah, please go ahead.
So, sir, I have completed my Capstone project with all of your given things, and I got my data. I mean, first I have to thank for providing the letter. Through that letter, through my father, I got the particular data for this Capstone project. And the thing is, sir, I just got my information through email.
Okay.
So I didn't directly go and collect the information. I got it through email. Based on the letter you have given to us, I sent it via mail and got the data via mail. So it's okay to just post the PDF version of whatever mail I have. That's enough now.
That is it. For the authenticity part you're asking about, isn't it?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, that is fine.
And so the email PDF and the snip should be there in both my PPT as well as in my report. Correct now?
In the report is fine. You don't have to mention that in the PPT because you only get 5 slides. There's no need for putting that in the PPT.
Oh.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in the first slide itself, can I give? I thought of organizing my PPT in a way, sir. So I have given the problem statement and my suggestions both in the first slide. So in third, fourth slides, it would be followed by some analysis. Is it okay now, sir?
Whatever way you want to present, and the final thing is that it has to convince the person who is sitting on the other side.
Yeah, but Siddharth, the thing is that your what suggestions which you are giving typically has to come at the last, because you're giving your problem statement, you're having your data, you have analyzed it, and then you come up with your suggestions, correct? So if you give the suggestions at the very beginning, it doesn't make much of sense. You get to the point.
I get it, sir, but the thing is that slide, it's maximum of 5 slides. I just have
there are ways of fitting it. If you just look at the slides in the supplementary section, there are 9 presentations which are shared. Do have a look how they have done it, so you will get some idea.
Okay, sir, I will do as per your suggestions.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Hello,
Good
sir.
evening, everyone.
Yes.
Yes, Neeraj here.
Yes, Neeraj.
Yes, sir. I'm not sure someone has asked or not about it, but is there any minimum number of SKUs that we need to consider for any shop if I'm considering any shop?
The only thing that you have to consider is the business problem. All right. However, make sure that the business problem is big enough that warrants a good amount of analysis. That is it.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Yeah. So we will ask a few questions, and then by 8:30, I think we'll have to leave. Any questions that
what you can always do is, in
Yes,
case your
sir.
questions are unanswered, then please feel free to write to me. I'll be glad to answer it. And on the discourse, one request: most of them, what you do is that many queries have been answered, and repeatedly it is being kind of raised. So or new threads are being made, so that kind of becomes difficult for us also to track. You feel free to write to me, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. With regard to the Google form, please fill your Google form fast. By the end of this month, you still have 8 days. March 20th, please keep everything ready. And for your authorization letters, please write to the IITM support or reach out to your peers and ask them as to how they've got it. So, so I hope you've clarified these 3 points. So, so that, yeah.
So before putting a question, in the discourse, please see if that kind of a similar question is answered already in the discourse. Otherwise, it's taking a lot of efforts for us also. We're not able to answer in detail to everybody. You're getting my point. So you will have to understand the pain that we also go through it. So we request you to see if that question is already answered. If it's answered, please don't ask it again. All right.
We will be more than happy to answer, because see, if you look at the last 2 days, I've answered 127 queries in the last 2 days. Somewhere, almost 30-40 were repeat. So that is why, it saves time for both of us. So that is just a request. So yeah.
Yes.
Sir, if I may make a comment on this.
Yes.
The new threads on discourse forum is a problem which is seen across all courses, and it's kind of I believe it is because like there is some marks associated with it, and that incentivizes people to create more threads.
Okay. Oh, that's an interesting point, but yeah, we will look into that. I don't think for BDM there is something like that. However, maybe this is the practice for other courses. Maybe
We had a thing, sir, in BDM. So what happened is I had a really long thread. So it's a single conversation, and it's a very really long thread, and it is counted as one.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it was very meaningful. I had I spent about 30 minutes, asked various questions, got it clarified. But same thread, it is counted as one, and I got these marks for it.
Oh, okay. So I think we will discuss about that in our faculty meeting. Okay. So we will make sure that we will do something about that. Okay, it's an interesting point. We didn't know about that. Sorry about. We will see that. Ashwin, can you see the problem?
Yeah. I mean, this is something I did not know as well. But don't worry, I'm going to give you all marks, huh? Don't worry about that.
Sir, I have a question.
Please.
Yes. Is it Madhuri?
Yes, sir, Madhuri.
Yes, Madhuri. Go ahead.
Sir, my question is, in the Google form that have been shared, there is a question: what is the nature of the data? What to write in that?
If the nature of data, in the sense, is it a revenue data, or is it a profit data, or is it cost data, inventory data, or is it about the people, human resource data, or it's a combination of all these things? Okay, you can write about this.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, please. Oh, who is that? Who is it? Sorry.
Rohit.
Rohit. Okay, go
Yes,
ahead,
sir.
Rohit. Yeah.
Sir, in that Google form, actually it was just for checking the progress, right? So I filled that form even when I did not start to collect the data. So is that any problem?
I don't think it's a Ashwin. I'm not sure if this form can be edited again. I'm not sure about that too.
No, form cannot be edited again. But if you want, you can just submit another one. So if it's one more this thing, then what we'll do is we'll filter one and we'll keep one. No problem. You can just submit it.
We will keep the latest.
Don't submit more than two. If it is a genuine mistake, it's fine. But please don't submit more than two, because then we'll have to. It will be difficult to discard. That's why.
Actually,
and then
now I am clicking on that link. So it is showing you have already responded.
Okay. Yeah. In that case, you can just email to me. Just email to me, and then I'll take it from there.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Sir, I have one last question.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Sir, actually, I am collecting the data from an entrepreneur on an online website. They sell something on that online website. So their problem is the inventory management. They go through the out of stock situation quite often. So they asked me to do something about it. So now the thing is, they have 300 SKUs, and that is a lot to work on. So I was thinking maybe I should see the top 50 or 100 SKUs, and then
that is fine, Madhuri. That is fine, absolutely fine, because 350 SKUs definitely you cannot look at it.
Yes.
So
we will give you another idea. So do a Pareto analysis first. Figure out which of the 20 components gives maximum revenue. Okay, or which of the 20 components has the maximum inventory holding cost. All right. So depending on the problem, you can do a Pareto analysis, figure out and take those components and then do an analysis for you. All right. That will actually help. So it gives a good justification for why you took only 50 instead of 300. Okay.
Okay. All right. Sir. Thank you so
And
much.
one more thing which I would like to add is that, what did I want to say? I forgot. Hari, you continue. I forgot.
It happens sometimes as teachers, so we keep forgetting things. Yeah. So this is the thing. So
Okay.
use this
Yes.
Pareto thing, and then you will be able to do it. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We have got 2 more minutes. Yes.
Yes.
So any more questions, we'll be happy to answer.
I have a question regarding the service industry. If you're collecting data from a service industry, like where there is not much of stock, but the revenues collected via the hour of the service provided, how to approach this?
Sorry, the revenues collected by the
hours provided, like the service provided. Something like
okay, yeah, that is fine. That is fine. What is the business problem? Again, go back to that first question. Mantra, mool mantra. What is the business problem you want to solve?
Maximizing the profits.
Maximizing the profit. So for maximizing the profit,
revenue,
maximizing the revenue. Okay, so maximizing the revenue. What are the things, data that you think you need?
The number of clients serviced.
Yes.
Number of referrals.
Yes. If it is a service industry, number of footfalls, one. Second thing, you can also look into the time period at which all these revenues happen. Okay, figure out what is happening, why there are revenue peak in some places, revenue low, less revenue in some places. Try to figure out all those things. That way you will be able to find out certain insights, and that insights you can see if that actually works by practically implementing them.
Because there's no such thing, literally no such thing as an SKU, although the stock is there, but it is very minimal, but it will obviously contribute to the stock. But the profit, the revenue.
No, we are not, sorry, who is this, by the way, first of all, who is this
Nikhil,
talking?
Nikhil.
Nikhil, you're not looking at the stock here. You're looking at the revenue.
Yes.
All right. So for revenue maximization, you will have to see what is that you'll have to do. If the revenue is not realized because there is a stock out, then you'll have to look at the stock out problem. If the revenue is not realized because the customer is not coming, then it's a different problem altogether. All right. Or if the revenue is not able to, you are not able to get the revenue in the service industry because you do not have enough people to serve the customers, then that's a different problem. You'll have to figure out what the problem is first clearly.
Yeah,
Hari,
I just got reminded of the things that I forgot. Yeah. So those who are not doing the Capstone project, it's absolutely fine. But you will have to take a proctored exam. And that proctored exam would be a combination of your assignments and would be slightly tricky. My suggestion to you was do the Capstone project. The reason being that on an average out of 20, firstly, you get 5 bonus marks. And on an average, last time, out of the 220 plus students who have done, the average score was 18 out of 25. And those who had taken the proctored exam, the average was around 11 or 12. So that kind of tells you that, we are a bit lenient when it comes to Capstone project, that if you've done a good work, we are very liberal and we award you more marks. The objective is to make you get your hands dirty, collect data. And, if some of you would want to pursue research further, which we are doing, we collect lots of primary data. Hari has been to the forest and he has been collecting data from the tribal people. I've been collecting data from B2B senior vice presidents. I mean, the top management. So it's pretty hard. We know that. And but then, that is, doing is believing, right? So that is how you kind of get your hands dirty on it. And that is when you learn. My suggestion is go ahead, do the Capstone project. Even if you have not got the data now, fine. Keep trying, keep speaking to people around. I'm very sure that you will be able to figure out and do it. You don't have to speak to the companies only. It could be a laundry shop. It could be a vegetable vendor, fruit vendor, milk vendor, anybody, organized, unorganized sector, anything will work for us, but it has to be a business. So this is, I would say, but yeah, the proctored exam would be something similar to assignments of the different weeks, but it will be tricky, believe us. And we will set a tricky paper because we have to give that benefit of doubt to those guys who have put in a lot of effort on the Capstone project. And believe us, we did not, for assignment 3, I don't know if it is loaded or not. Last year, people cursed me and Hari because it was very tough and many were not able to solve it.
We are notorious in giving difficult questions.
Yeah, it was very difficult. So that is what we did last time. So that is how it is.
Yeah. So better do Capstone project. That's the
Capstone
bottom
projects.
line. Yeah. Great. So we will continue with Nikhil. Nikhil, you got it? Understand the business
Yes, sir,
problem?
I understood.
Yeah.
One more question, like in mid of after collecting the data, if we find that there is something else interesting which we have not mentioned in the Google form or some other source of data we come across,
No problem. You can do that. You are free to
we
do
can
that. Google
change it,
Form is
right?
only, yes, you can actually do that. Google
Okay.
Form is only to see where you stand. That is it. It is not going to
Okay.
stop you from doing new things.
Okay. Thank you.
Right. Yeah.
If
Great.
we
So
are done
assignment
with
3 is out. I just want to quickly ask you, do you guys find it interesting, easy, difficult?
Interesting, sir. Very interesting.
Okay.
This time it is pretty easy, yeah.
Yeah,
Unlike last
we
time.
mellowed down. We did not want to bug you guys big time. So this time we
Take
had
your time
actually.
and please post it in the discourse. And yes, so it's time up. And if there are any questions, please feel free to email to me, and I'll be more than happy to answer. I've already received a mail from Priya. I'll just take some time and answer. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Neeraj,
with this,
yes, it is time taking. I understand, because in businesses you don't get the data in your hand to take decisions. You will have to arrive in such a way. You'll have to do data manipulation. You'll have to do data processing to get all those things. In a way, it's a good learning experience for all you guys. So I hope you will enjoy that.
Also, if you look at some of the YouTube videos of Ankur Wariku, you will see that how people present. So he speaks about, presentation within 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Just have a look, how people present. If you just go to YouTube and just give Capstone project presentation, things like that, you will just see how people present very quickly in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. This is the new trend these days. Recently, I presented in one of the conferences where I had to summarize everything within 3 minutes. So that's how things are, because people don't have the patience to listen to you for long, but still we are giving you 15 minutes. So that is why limit your slide, tell more. Don't just read it from the, don't just read from the presentations. We would like to know your experience and hear from you. So with this, I'll be concluding today's session. And if there are any questions, please feel free to mail me and I'll answer them.
Yes, sir. I want to make one point regarding this Capstone project. This is beyond exam and what we are doing for and preparing for the 20th March.
Yes.
So that's a good spirit, Samit. Very good spirit. Yes.
Yeah, sir. What I now feel, and the company that I have recently working with, I may have to go beyond certain distance out of beyond 20th March. Because so far the conversation I have with them, and they give me two, three questions. Since you are utilizing our data, try to find out whether this is possible by you or not. I don't know how much I am able to answer those questions, but I want to go in details with those 3-4 questions they have asked me. And it may take longer time, which is definitely, I don't think it will possible before 20th March. In case I'm going beyond, I'm not asking about the whether you are giving me marks on that 20th March or not. But I'm just asking if I need some help, say in April, May, with those questions they gave me, can I expect some help from your side?
Ashwin and I will be happy to help. Even
We'll
Sukrat
be
is
more than
there.
happy
All
to
three
help.
of us will be happy to help.
Yes, and see, if you look at the things, there was one question on the discourse wherein a person asked, "I've completed this. Can you help me to? Can you enable an early submission of something?" So the objective is to ensure fairness, and we have to always see to it that if you have completed or not, there are certain deadlines that are set, and we always want to ensure that you've done. But if there is something which you want to do beyond that, we will be more than happy to help you. But on the deadline is a deadline. You will have to submit whatever you have done on that particular date. And then for your presentation, you anyways have time. That point of time, if anything is there, you can always, but now, as of now, the hard deadline is 20th of March, 2022, which is exactly 1 month you have got. So yeah, so that's what I would say. And any questions, we'll be happy. Please mail it to me or put it in the discourse, and yes, we'll be answering that. Okay. With this, I conclude today's session.
Yeah, we are very happy talking to you guys. We really enjoyed.
So it was a good
the
experience.
Session.
Great experience.
Great experience for all of us.
Yeah, and
you
we'll
guys
have
are
one
all
more
very
session.
good. Yeah.
Yeah,
We will have
and
one
we
more
will
session.
have one more session as well next week. Also, we'll try to keep one more session.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So that if you have further queries, we'll be more than happy to answer, because it's a learning for us as well. So yeah. So that is something which we look forward to. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much, sir,
See
for
you
this
guys.
wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Have a very nice week ahead. All right. Take care.
Thank you,
Stay
sir.
safe. Yeah. Okay.
Chalo.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye. Take care.